No one hates J.Lo more than her ex-husband, at least that's how it's looking, considering the man will just not leave her alone. But why? It has to do with Diddy, so let's get into it. J.Lo's first husband, Ojani Noa, is an actor, producer, writer, and more. He wears many hats. But most importantly, when it comes to facts that you need to know about Noa, he hates J.Lo. Like, from reading up on his activity when it comes to his ex-wife, there are only so many conclusions one can draw, and I fear that he hates her. And there's a number of reasons why. The first might have something to do with the couple's divorce. They were married less than a year, wed in 1997, divorced in 1998. They divorced right around when J.Lo was first rising to superstar status. Her first major film, Selena, was a hit, and she was just starting her music journey. She was by no means a megastar at the time of the divorce. That actually came around a couple years later. Noa believes that the marriage partly fell apart because of one man though, a man that is very popular with the press and on this channel right now thanks to some truly heinous behavior, Mr. Sean Diddy Combs. He and J.Lo dated from 1999 to 2001-ish. If you're keeping up with the timeline, they started dating about 1 year after her divorce from Noa. But they met in 1997 when she starred in the music video for Diddy's song Been Around the World. The pair later spoke about meeting each other in unearthed footage from like 1999, so it's very, very grainy. In it, Lopez claimed that she actually didn't like Diddy at first because they were very different, plus she was married. She made a point to talk about how she was raised to be family-oriented and respect marriage. However, she said that at the time she was going through problems in her relationship and marriage that no one knew about. In a couple 1998 interviews, she hinted that Noa was insecure at the fact that J.Lo was more successful than he was. Talking about how much money she makes in comparison to her then husband, she said, "That's something he has to deal with and to live with, which is tough for someone like him." Then in a later interview she said, "If you asked him right now, he'd rather have me at home washing dishes with us living in a small apartment with him making the money rather than me making millions of dollars a year living in a house that I mostly pay for." Years down the road, ex-husband Noa actually made a statement that echoed one of J.Lo's earlier ones when he was talking about Ben Affleck's signature grumpy face. Affleck has gone viral many times during his relationship with J.Lo because he would often look absolutely miserable when they were together, so Noa was responding to one of those times. He claimed that while he was married to J.Lo, the pair would often fight before having to pretend everything was okay for the cameras a few minutes later. He said that he knew deep down that the couple was not in a good place, they didn't agree on major decisions. It's clear from both sides that they were both aware things weren't perfect. Noa talked about what led up to, in his words, Diddy ruining the marriage. He said that the deception started when it was revealed that Diddy was going to be a producer for part of J.Lo's debut album On the 6th. There was also a lot of physical distance between the couple at this point, with Noa remaining in LA as he was opening a restaurant at the time, and J.Lo flying between Miami and New York for her album. It pretty much went downhill from that point forward, despite the fact that Noa claimed he tried to see J.Lo when he could. Surprisingly, restaurants have caused a lot of strain for this particular relationship. A, because Noa had to stay in LA for his restaurant opening, leading to emotional and literal distance between the couple, and B, years later, J.Lo hired him to manage her new restaurant, only to fire him allegedly without cause 6 months later. Yeah, this was big drama back in 2002. When J.Lo was opening her restaurant Madres, she needed a manager. That manager turned out to be her ex-husband, which is admittedly seems like an odd or interesting choice considering how their future plays out, but at this point the relationship was pretty solid still. Noa alleges that J.Lo told him that she wanted to take care of him because he was family and he wouldn't be fired unless there was a good cause or reason. Seems like a sweet deal. Noa seemingly knew his stuff. I mean, he met and married J.Lo when he was a waiter. We covered that he's opening his own restaurant. Why not manage J.Lo's? Well, something went seriously sideways because he only held the position for 6 months. He claims that he had no idea why he was fired and tried to ask J.Lo, but she wouldn't pick up his calls. So in retaliation, he filed a lawsuit, and it did actually work out in his favor. He got $125,000. However, it came with a condition. He must not reveal private information about the couple's past relationship. Ojani Noa has said that after his divorce from J.Lo, he just kind of wanted to keep his head down and do his own thing. However, I guess his tune changed a few years later because he tried to release a book about his relationship with J.Lo around 2006. It was going to be called The Unknown Truth, a passionate portrait of a serial thriller. It was allegedly going to accuse her of cheating on him many times. See, the thing about a tell-all book is that it pretty much is exactly the thing that goes against the condition that you don't reveal any private information about your past relationship. J.Lo did take him to court over this book and won $545,000 and stop the book from ever getting released. The only reason we know about some alleged writing and cheating accusations is because of the court documents. Ojani Noa has claimed that the breakup from J.Lo negatively affected his careers and cost him work. He is kind of right. J.Lo did fire him as manager from the restaurant that she owned. However, he is also referring to his second job, which is acting and the entertainment industry in general. He speculated that J.Lo likely used her connections in the industry to stop him from working with certain people and networks after they had split up. He also accused her of further ruining his reputation because she had taken him to court. In a recent interview with the Daily Mail, he metaphorically asked J.Lo, "What did I do to you so that you have taken me to court? Why, if I have not done anything to you, let her tell the truth, let her tell everything that happened." I mean, she doesn't want to do that. That has been made very, very clear. Technically, he did take her to court first as well over the restaurant thing, and then she took him to court when he violated the court order from the first time that he wouldn't say anything to discredit J.Lo again or share private details about their relationship. But she actually had to take him to court over again when she found out that he was planning to create and release a mockumentary about their marriage. There were rumors that the mockumentary was going to include private home videos of the couple, which again, that is so explicitly in violation of the contract they made, but him and the producers, I guess, thought that because it was going to be more of a parody of what happened, it would be okay. It wasn't. The movie was stopped by a judge. One of the producers that was working on the film with Noah did sue J.Lo for interference for $10 million. It actually almost went in their favor, but then a judge struck it down. J.Lo then sued for $10 million as well, per The Hollywood Reporter, breach of contract, violation of publicity rights, invasion of privacy, and other claims. Listen, I know that I've said a few times that Noah hates J.Lo, and that's kind of an over-exaggeration. I sensationalized it based on the amount of times he's tried to breach their agreements and tried to sue her. He has recently said how he actually feels about J.Lo. He spoke to the Daily Mail right after it was announced that J.Lo and Ben Affleck were getting a divorce, and this is exactly what he said. "I would always be her friend. I sympathize with both of them because divorce is hard." He actually called the couple's divorce when their engagement was announced. At the time, he said that they probably wouldn't last. He then reminisced on his own marriage to J.Lo and his role in her life, saying, "I was the first, the pioneer. I was there at the beginning of her career, supporting her, dealing with her anxieties and insecurities." He reiterated what made him a good husband, that he believed in marriage, something that J.Lo also said she was raised to believe in a 1999 interview. He reiterated that he was heartbroken after the divorce and finished with, "I feel when she got what she wanted, I was no longer needed." But that's a lot. So does the relationship affect J.Lo as much as it does Noah? Aside from like the legal battles, not really it seems. In fact, it turns out J.Lo doesn't even really count her marriage to Noah since it was so short. She joked about that with Today back in 2019. She shared that her marrying when she was that young was her trying to make sure she always had somebody by her side. But she realizes now that that is not a good reason to marry someone and also not how life works. But what do you think? Let us know, and if you're looking for your next watch, check out the rest of our channel. There's lots to choose from. Thanks for watching. Bye!